All right, let's talk about a moment that every single developer, I mean every developer, has gone through. It's that one high-pressure scenario that really truly separates the rookies from the veterans. It tells you everything you need to know about where someone is in their career.
Yep, there it is, those 6 little words. Your gut reaction to this sentence is like a litmus test for your experience level. Seriously, it's a fork in the road, and depending on which path you take, it reveals a completely different mindset. So today, we're going to break down what happens on both sides.
So first up, we have the junior engineer's path. When these words from the boss land, it usually triggers, well, let's just call it what it is, a full-blown panic mode. It's an immediate and honestly a pretty chaotic chain reaction.
And this is it. This is the thought that just completely takes over their brain. There's no room for planning, no questions, just this raw, unfiltered feeling of go, go, go. The pressure is cranked to 11, and the only solution that seems possible is to start doing something, anything, right now.
And what does that action look like? Well, it looks a lot like this. The IDE is open before the boss has even left the room. You've got like 17 Stack Overflow tabs spawning across your screen, and the coding, oh, it's furious. But look at what's getting tossed aside here. All the important stuff, testing, proper design, any kind of validation, it's all just thrown out the window in a desperate race against the clock.
This right here, this becomes the mantra. It's the story you tell yourself at 2 a.m., fueled by a mix of pure adrenaline, a desire to impress, and way too much caffeine. The goal isn't to build something good or sustainable, it's just to survive the deadline. Period.
And you can probably guess what happens next. The feature gets shipped, held together by the digital equivalent of duct tape and prayers. But then, the very next day, that urgent feature turns into an all-hands-on-deck, the site is on fire bug fix. It ends up causing way more work and stress than it ever saved.
Okay, so now let's flip the coin. Let's look at how a senior engineer handles the exact same request. The difference is night and day, and it starts not with a flurry of typing, but with a simple pause.
This slide just nails the difference, doesn't it? On one side, you have the chaos of panic coding, and on the other, a calm, strategic pause. It's the difference between being a firefighter who's always reacting to emergencies and an architect who's building something that won't catch fire in the first place. And this is the absolute key. The most powerful tool a senior engineer uses in this moment isn't their keyboard, it's their brain. Before a single line of code even gets considered, a whole process of analysis and clarification has to happen first.
So, what's actually happening during that strategic pause? What's going on in their head? Well, it all boils down to asking the right questions. Questions that dig underneath the surface of the request to find out what the real problem is. See, they're asking questions that cut right to the core. Instead of just, how do I build this? They're asking, wait, why are we building this? They're trying to figure out, okay, what's the actual business goal here? Then they immediately try to shrink the problem. What is the smallest absolute minimum thing we can deliver that still solves the immediate problem? And they explore options. Do you need the whole finished thing? Or is a quick prototype actually good enough for now? This is all about managing risk.
This right here is the secret knowledge that only comes from experience. A senior has learned that by tomorrow is often code for I'm nervous about this. Please show me that we're making progress. It almost never means they expect a flawless, production-ready solution in less than 24 hours. They just want reassurance.
So what causes this huge gap in reactions? You know, both developers are smart, they're both capable, they both want to do a good job. The difference isn't about talent, it's about a perspective that can only be shaped by experience.
And you've got to understand, both of them mean well. The junior is driven by this really powerful need to prove their worth, to show they can handle the pressure. But the senior? They're driven by something else, a duty to protect the entire system and the team from the long-term pain that rushed work always causes.
And this is really what experience means when you boil it all down. It's that mental shift from thinking my job is to write code as fast as possible to understanding my job is to deliver real, sustainable value for the business.
You know, this wisdom isn't something they read in a book. It's forged in the fire of past emergencies. They have the battle scars from those late-night debugging sessions and those horrible production outages. They've paid the price for panicked coding before, and they've learned to avoid it at all costs.
Okay, so the best part about all of this is that you do not have to wait years to start thinking this way. Let's break down the actual steps you can take, like today, to start leveling up your own response to these situations.
All right, here's the game plan. Number 1, fight that instinct to jump in. just pause. Number 2, ask those clarifying why questions. 3, figure out what the absolute most essential piece is and focus only on that. 4, and this one is so important, you have to communicate the trade-offs. Tell them what they're getting and what they're not getting. And finally, number 5, deliver something visible to show progress and calm everyone's nerves.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. Seniority is not a number. It's not about how many years you've been on the job. It's a mindset. It's a way of thinking, and it's something you can start practicing from day one.
So if you remember nothing else from this, remember these 4 words. When that pressure cooker request comes in, this is your new instinct. First, you grieve, you don't panic. Second, you think, you don't just react. Third, you plan your attack. And finally, you communicate that plan to everyone.
Because ultimately, when you master this response, you're making a huge leap. You stop being someone who just reacts to chaos, and you become the person who leads the team through it with clarity and confidence. You're not just taking orders anymore, you're shaping the outcome.
So I'll leave you with this question. Come on, we've all got a story. Whether you were the panicking junior or the calm senior, what is your most memorable, we need this by tomorrow moment? Drop it in the comments below. I would seriously love to hear how these things have played out for you all.